County Country Way.
Good morning, my little peaches. The time is 7:02 on this Back at It Monday. My co-host, the legendary Dollar Bill Lawson.
Oh, boy.
We're always excited when Bill can come on with us. And later on, we'll have some more story time with Bill.
Have I got to come up with another
You
story?
do. You got
Oh,
a
boy.
little while to think about something. Yeah,
All
I
right.
think people love that. We're going to give the people what they want. So if
I got to
story
think
time
of the
with Bill
stories
is
that I
it-
can tell.
That's the thing.
I got a lot of stories, but some of them I can't tell on the air. No,
Just gotta,
there's some crazy ones.
you crack me up because you'll say, I'll tell you a story that I can't tell on air. So afterwards, we just sit here and yuck it up for 30 minutes.
But
to
you do
tell the
realize
stories.
after it's over why I couldn't tell it on the
Yeah,
air.
absolutely. You
I
figure
worked
it
with
out
some
quickly.
crazy people, including Patty.
Patty.
Mainly because of Patty.
I was going to say, Patty, the number one reason why you can't tell.
You know, that lifestyle she led was,
Interesting.
I'm glad you can't. I couldn't come up with a word that was epic came in
Yeah.
there because it is pretty epically interesting. but
Unbelievable. Even.
Yes, it really is. I mean, it's amazing.
I got to thank Baden. We got new chairs, and look, I am rocking. I'm rocking it. Yours has gotten locked down somehow. Mine has not.
Well, I got to be careful because sometimes, one time Baden had brought a fancy chair in, and I found a little lever, and I was about 3 feet high, and when I hit it, it dropped me
You
to
all
the
the way
first
down.
floor fast. So I've got to be careful of pushing on levers. I found one, but I don't know what it does. Nothing's fallen apart or dropped me yet.
Oh, these are nice.
He's
This
got
is
levers all
sweet.
under
I
it. This is
know.
like high tech.
The last chairs we got, so I don't know. I guess because we were sitting in them every single day. After a while, you'd sit in them, and even if you raised them up,
They drop you down.
slowly
Slowly went down.
You're going down, and before it was over with, I look like I'm
The
a
kid at the child's table, at the grown-up table. It's we had those. At our radio station, they buy all of our counters were bar height.
Mm-hmm.
They had what they call stand-up control rooms, so you could do the whole show standing up if you wanted to. So if you sat down, you had to be in a bar chair, high chair.
Oh yeah.
And so they didn't just buy the regular high chair; they bought the ones that could go from regular. And I'm the same way. Sometimes while you're on the air, you just slowly be lowered, and you think, is the room rising up? The microphone
happening?
was suddenly coming up and going past your
Yeah.
eyes. You're going, what's going on?
Yeah, they.
But you have to change them out every so often. When you sit in them for hours every day, especially if you got a big fat butt like mine, you got to change them out after a while. They wear the poor chairs out.
One chair just. I looked out one day and it was just out by the road waiting for the trash to come by and get it. And I was like, oh, that one must have went all the way down
that one-
and never made it back up
that was-
again. So
That one was a deceased
Yeah.
piece of equipment.
it's a deceased chair. It
Deceased
absolutely
chair.
was. Well, how was your weekend?
Mine was fine. I didn't, I was back from Tennessee, so it was nice being home. The weather could not have been more pleasant. I mean, we sat out outside. I went to the lake for the Alabama game and the Georgia game and the Auburn Georgia game, and I think we watched Arkansas. So I mean, I watched football from about 11 o'clock in the morning till about 9 o'clock at night, nonstop.
Yeah.
And the weather couldn't have been better. It was just beautiful.
We'll talk about those games when we come back because there's a whole that's going to take a minute to cover.
Yeah, they were amazing.
Those games were interesting. At least one was very interesting. And
they were good games, but poor
rigmarole.
Auburn lost theirs. That was heartbreaking to me.
Well, and the reason
Alabama
why-
barely won theirs, but
Yeah, we'll talk about that when
Okay.
we come back. How was the Swedish Fest? Baden, did you go? Who went to that?
I went and it was
Nobody.
Bergen, she Bergen, Bergen, she Bergen, he Bergen. I wish I had gone. Those little Swedish queens we had in here
were
were
so
so cute, and it's a great event. I just didn't
Yeah.
get to. I also was supposed to have helped MC an event Saturday afternoon. It was the Mike Gannon Memorial barbecue cook-off in Columbiana. By the way, there were witches riding around all night, Friday night and Saturday. It was weird. But because I'd look out and you'd see a witch go by on a bicycle. You go, wow, you don't see that every day. But anyway, and what happened was I went to my buddy Croc's, and we were watching the Alabama game. I was going to go to help MC the charity event and then come back and watch Auburn. And I got a little overserved during the Alabama game.
Did you?
Yeah. Croc kept plying me with
it's Croc's
adult
fault.
beverages.
Okay.
It's all Croc's fault. 100% Croc's fault. I didn't even know there was alcohol in the drinks. I was drinking lemonade or Coke or whatever. Anyway, it was by the time the Alabama game was over, I said, I can't just drive down there now. I got to wait a little while. Well, the Auburn game came on. I never made it, so I feel really bad about that. But they didn't need me. I mean, it was a big event, and they were fine. I just felt bad. I told them I'd be there and couldn't. But they
happens.
They didn't want me trying to drive for one thing or be there the way I was anyway.
The way you were.
I mean, I wasn't snockered really, but I certainly shouldn't drive, and
Yeah, I get it. We had some football Friday night, so let me get back over here.
Oh yeah, game of the week was what, Billingsley and
Maplesville,
wasn't it?
So the final score: Maplesville 42, Billingsley 0.
Oh, okay, that's good though. For
then
Maplesville.
Other games in the area: Verbena and Autauga Academy. Verbena won that game 21-6. Calera over Clanton 41-16.
Really?
Yep. Greene County over Isabella 38-36. That was a close one. Thorsby over Dallas County.
Good.
Keeping that winning streak alive 54-8.
Thorsby's got a good team this year, don't they?
And then Northside and Jemison. It was Northside 49, Jemison 25. So Maplesville and Thorsby are keeping their undefeated seasons going.
That's
that
amazing.
Makes them 6-0 now, I think, both.
6-0. That's
Isn't
astounding.
that crazy? Isn't that wild?
That's great.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the college football when we come back, because there's a lot to be said about that. Let's thank our morning show sponsors.
Yes,
Thank
let's
you.
do so we can open our coats.
Yes, I'm ready. I need one.
Me too.
Thank you to Chilton Mobile Home Supply, also Country Financial Insurance, Central Alabama Wellness, my bestie Mike Baker at Coca-Cola, where they keep us fully supplied with all the Coca-Cola we need. Let's see. Are you ready? A 1 and a 2 and a... All right. I think I was a little off on that one. Oh, yeah.
That one sounded like stereo.
It was in stereo. Yes, it was. Oh, that's so good, too.
It is good. I've already had my coffee this morning, so this is nice. Oh, yeah. I got that pretty long drive, and by the way, this morning, go ahead and thank your sponsors before I take us off track.
Thank you also to our Chilton Chamber of Commerce, Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Putter Up. I saw my friends Ken and Layla at Putter Up on, I think it was Thursday. I went by there, and they are adding.
They're expanding.
Another 9. They're
the back nine's coming up.
The back 9 is what they're calling it. Yes, calling it the back 9. So that is going to be coming up probably over the next 6 months or so. I also thank you to Jake and his team at Save More. Both stores, Clanton and Calera, are now officially Save More locations, as well as the one in, where? Brent? No, is that right?
Brent,
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, thank you to Bruce at Old Orchard Amish Furniture. And also
Brucey Poo.
Remind folks that Workout 24/7, they are having their grand opening and ribbon cutting on Wednesday.
Excellent.
So we're excited about that. We're going to be there and take some pictures. And I say I'm going to be at the dentist, Taylor, and
very good. Well, it's great they're getting started. They're getting going.
Yep, that's awesome. All right.
What I was going to say real quick.
Yes.
This morning, if you're going to get out and drive, or if you've already been out, it's the first really chilly morning we've had. I mean, you think falling in the air, get outside this morning, because it is chilly. And I was driving in, and it was my first morning to actually smell fire places or wood burning stoves. every now and then I get that delicious whiff of a fire burning, a wonderful hickory or pine. Oh, and it being crisp and cold and clear as a bell, and that smell, I knew fall had arrived. It was it was football fall season. I can now officially go home today and start working on a bowl of chili, making me a pot of chili.
Hubby made some chili
Did
for
he?
us yesterday.
I'm
Yes,
making
it
my
was so
first
good
pot
too.
this week. I'm ready.
Yes. I told him, I said, yeah, went to the grocery store Saturday, and he was like, so you want to, what stuff you want? And I said, well, you got to get stuff for chili. I mean, it's time, and I'm ready for it. Also, there's a lot going on this week. Today and tomorrow is fall break for Chilton County schools, so they are out. Today is also Columbus Day and
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yes, it is. And it is also race week in Alabama.
Oh, it sure is, isn't it?
This week. People were arrived. Matter of fact, talked to Ricky, our field reporter, yesterday, and he was pulling his camper and setting up.
This early?
They do the whole week.
Wow.
I've got several friends that do that.
He now will be our foreign correspondent from Talladega.
Oh, yes. I'm sure he's going to have some stories to tell.
It's kind of sad having this game this week, the race this weekend. Remember, Grant Lynch passed away back about a month and a half ago. He was the guy at Talladega for, I don't know, 30 years, maybe?
At least 30. Yeah.
I used to talk to Grant at least 3 or 4 times a year. He'd come to the radio station and sit in with us, and we'd talk Talladega, talk race week and all that stuff. He'd come and stay an hour, and he was the greatest guy. He was so up and positive, and he was such a good ambassador for Talladega. Yeah. And, of course, that's when it was doing really well. And then they went through that. Remember, COVID kind of hurt them, and then they also went through a decline when racing kind of went down. I don't know remember. And they revitalized and came back with a different strategy for camping and for the infield. And they came right back. I mean, they're doing great again. And racing's kind of come back again, too. I don't know. I think COVID did a lot of damage there. But I'll be thinking about old Grant Lynch this year when the race is running, because he was he was the president and whatever, head of Talladega for, I know it had to be 30 years.
Yeah, I think it was close to that. Yeah, so, all right, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk some more racing. We will talk about football, and we lost a major Hollywood star.
We sure did. One I liked a
weekend.
lot.
Yes, and I hate that. So we'll talk about all of that when we come back. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Pete's Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clayton Tractor Studio. We'll be right back. Workout Anytime in Clanton is now open. Your fitness, your schedule. We have top-of-the-line treadmills and weights, but we are more than just a gym. We bring luxury and results to your fitness routine. Relax in our sauna. Recharge with red light therapy. Refresh in our hydro massage beds. Get that glow with unlimited tanning and push your limits with dynamic classes. Need guidance? Our personal trainers are here to help you set your goals, stay motivated, and get real results. This is your space, your time, your transformation, open 24/7. Workout Anytime, now open in Clanton.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
We are back. The time is 7:18. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Therese and Dollar Bill here with you on this Back at It Monday. Good morning, Miss Nalora. She says, good morning from the Gulf. Well, I'm jealous.
The Gulf.
Oh, man. Awesome.
I wonder if it's chilly down there like it is
Probably
here.
a little bit. My friend that lives in Destin, Miramar Beach, he said Friday that it was a little chilly.
Of course,
down
they think
there.
chilly's 72, you know,
Yeah,
or
they do.
when it gets down in the 50s at night. We don't think it's chilly till you get down in the 40s.
It's
really.
just brisk.
Yeah.
It's brisk at that
Actually,
point.
this morning it's chilly.
It is a
for
little chilly this
southerner.
morning. Mike Baker, he says, today is the last day of the Alabama National Fair. It's also school day at the fair. Gates open at 9, rides at 11 a.m.
That's in Montgomery.
Yep, in Montgomery. I haven't heard any more bad stuff out of there, so
No, I think it's
I
probably
think that
been
was just
pretty
an
good.
isolated incident. All right, so we were going to talk about we lost Diane Keaton over the weekend. I think the news broke Saturday.
I think so.
Yes,
Yeah, I was
early
shocked.
Sunday.
I think whatever they do-
79.
yeah, she's 79. But let me tell you, I hadn't seen her in the last year or so, a picture of her. But up until she was 77 or so, she looked terrific. She looked young and fresh and was sharp as a tack. I remember seeing her do an interview just not too long ago. I mean, it was maybe 5 years ago with Diane Sawyer about her and Woody Allen and stuff because they, had a long relationship. And oh my God, she looked 30. She looked great.
Yeah, she did look great. The people around
She
her
claims it's because she never married.
probably. She also, according to folks around her, they said that lately, like over the last couple of months, she had gotten really, really, really skinny.
Really?
But there has been no official word on what happened at all. She was in some major movies. Summer camp. Let's see. She was
Annie Hall was her
Arthur's
big
Whiskey and
one.
Summer Camp were her last three.
Yeah.
But she also had been Annie Hall,
Oh, that was huge for her.
Godfather. She was
Godfather.
in those.
That was one of her first acting gigs. Was The Godfather.
She was also in The First Wives Club, which was a great movie.
Right.
Yeah, it's
A lot
so
of Woody
sad.
Allen movies.
Yes, Manhattan. I forgot about that one. So I know that definitely Hollywood is mourning her. She was
Yeah,
a great
she was-
actress. I actually liked her a lot.
She was quirky. She was very real and down to earth and self deprecating as on
Oh yeah.
in her shots, but she was quirky, personally and even on screen. But I liked her a lot.
Yeah.
I thought she was a really good actress and,
Yep.
and neat to watch.
Yeah, I hate that. That's
I
very,
hate that
very,
thing.
very
But
sad.
87, you
No,
could do worse.
79.
That's not good. That's not that much older than me. She was young when she
Yeah,
went.
she
I'm
was
sorry.
young. I consider that young now.
I used to think
Absolutely.
79 was so hideously old. Of course, I used to think 40 was
I
pretty
did
old.
too. When my
Yeah.
grandpa, how old are you? 40. I was like, whoa, you're old.
I remember when my one of my grandparents turned 60, and I thought, "Grave, you're done. You can't. Why are you alive? 60."
I know. And next month, I'll be 3 years shy of that. And
Oh.
I'm just like, whoa, hey now.
I saw 60 almost 13 years ago.
Oh, gosh.
So
Yeah.
amazing. You change your perspective as you get older.
You do. You definitely do change your perspective. So football. Saturday we
I was
had
happy.
Alabama and Michigan. Alabama won that game 27-24.
I don't know. Have you seen the poll yet this morning?
I have not, but
I
I
hadn't
will
either.
tell you
I think that
that,
Alabama should be in the top 5.
Alabama had one of their players take a nasty hit.
Yeah.
It was considered targeting. and
Yep.
the other guy was ejected
Ejected.
immediately. The Michigan guy, that boy, when he got hit, he hit the ground, and he was just like his arms were just folded up under him, and he was just
I thought
out.
he's dead.
I did too for a little bit, and he wasn't moving, and then all of a sudden I saw a foot move, but it took them a minute. They immediately went to break. I think everybody thought that was
Thought
a
he was really hurt
catastrophic
bad.
injury, and he was like when they were walking him off, he was kind of stumbling. He got his bell all the way wrung.
Yeah. He got it run bad.
And it was an obvious targeting. I mean, it was just so.
Well, actually, it looked to me almost like double. Did you notice?
Yeah, because he got.
He got hit sandwiched with two helmets. I mean, it looked like I thought they were going to get the first guy for targeting, but I think it was the second guy that really got the targeting call. But it looked like they nailed him from both ends. It was tough. But that's football, and it can happen.
Yeah, it does.
That was a really good game. There was never any moment when anybody had it assured at all. It was a back and forth melee, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, I really enjoyed it saying it now that Alabama won, but it would still have been a good game had Alabama lost, but I just wouldn't have been happy. But that was a great game.
It was a good game. Watched it. It came on early too. It was
11
like an
o'clock or 11:30,
game,
something like that.
So we kind of got up a little bit late. I mean, I say a little bit late. I was up. I'm already up, but I got up and fixed us some breakfast. And by the time I got through cooking breakfast and cleaning up, it was time for the ball game. And I'm not used to that. I'm like, whoa, So we watched that, and then we went and did some grocery shopping, and came back and went to go watch the Auburn-Georgia game, which I really thought we had a better chance of winning that game, and I think we probably could have.
But don't forget, Georgia was the spread had Georgia by like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I mean, Auburn looked great. They may have lost the game, but boy, they stood their ground and they played a great game against a team that was way favored over them. So, I try to be positive about even a loss, and that Auburn has nothing to be ashamed of with that game because they played well.
I think my issue with the game, I have two, and it involves penalties. I feel like that yellow flag went flying every time Auburn.
There were a lot of,
and one specific call. It was not a flag. Well, I guess kind of, but they ruled that a touchdown was not a touchdown,
right?
Because he fumbled the ball, but he fumbled it after the ball had already crossed the plane. So it should have still stood as a touchdown.
Yeah.
Because all the ball has to do is break the plane.
Right.
And
once it breaks the plane,
he was
you've got
not
it
on
in
the
control.
ground. He was on top of people. They were all trying to get to him. So that one was really kind of a detrimental point in the game. And then Kirby Smart calling timeout and then saying, no, he didn't. And there's video of him going, time, and he's going, no, I was clapping. So they gave him his timeout back and put, time back on the clock. And it was just a crazy game. It was like, no matter what, we weren't going to win that game. It was already written in the cards. We were not going to win that game. And I normally don't like to say, blame it on refs or anything like that. But I really feel like, and what the sad part is that Georgia fans and Alabama fans were all commenting on Facebook. Yeah, Georgia fans like, we're embarrassed. Y'all should have won that game.
Really?
Alabama fans going, y'all got robbed. Y'all just 100% got robbed. And my daughter, who is a Georgia fan, she goes, I'm sorry, Mama. And I said, well, baby, the fact is, even though those other things happened, we still had opportunities to turn it around, and we didn't. So, I mean, really, ultimately the loss falls where it should, which is on the coaches and the team. But there were some things that probably changed.
Could have changed some stuff.
Yeah. But that's football.
That is football.
Yeah, you can be mad about it.
I will say this, at least in the old days, there were no, reconsidering plays and stuff with video.
Right.
So whatever was called on the field, you had to live by it. It was whether it was so bad refereeing then paid huge amounts of change and difference to a football game. But now I got to say, it's a lot fairer because they stop the game and they go review it. And there's been so many things that I would have sworn was a touchdown or was a fumble or whatever, and video proves that it wasn't or whatever. So that, and of course, if it's on you, you hate it. You know, it's one of those things. But still, it is now a much fairer refereed game, because even if a ref calls a bad call and it's questionable, they go back and look at it, and if they have irrefutable evidence, they'll change it. And that's a people I don't think realize how different that is than just 4 years ago.
Yeah. Well, there was another game. I can't remember which game it was. Auburn played. It was one of the ones we lost, and it was one where the SEC officials board even issued an apology saying that our officials blew it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it did cost us the game, you know, but that's just part of it.
Yep.
You get humans out there and they make mistakes.
We all make mistakes. Or judgment calls,
Of course, I will say, folks are really coming down on the SEC officials right now, saying that not just in Auburn games specifically, but generally over the whole SEC, the amount of really bad calls coming out are really high, and a lot of folks are wanting an investigation. So I don't know. It's not just our team.
You'd think
it's
the
a lot.
SEC coaches, refs would be the best, because they usually have some of the best teams every week.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
would
know.
think. Also, I saw also where Penn State fired their head coach, James Franklin. He's out of there
Poor old Penn
after their
State, they
loss
just-
to Northwestern.
They're having trouble coming back.
And then UAB fired Trent Dilfer.
Really?
Yeah, he's gone. But
I saw which game was it? Arkansas was playing, what the LSU was it? Anyway, it was a pretty good game. I have a buddy that's a huge Arkansas fan, Ed. And so Ed was with us watching Alabama, so we had to go over and watch the Arkansas game. It was a pretty good game. And the other team, I can't remember who they were playing now. The other team had a outstanding player who had come from UAB.
Oh,
He had
really?
just transferred from UAB, and yeah, he was. They kept. He was doing some great plays. So, UAB's been pretty impressive over they're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I
I watched a little bit of pro last night. The 49ers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers played, and Fred Warner, he's a linebacker for the 49ers, he suffered a gruesome ankle injury.
No way.
It was so bad that when they were doing the replay, they said, this is all we feel comfortable showing you.
Really, it
Yes,
was that.
and
He crunched
Yep.
his ankle that bad.
Yeah, it's
Foot
bad.
must have been turned
He's
a
out
weird
the
way.
rest of the season for sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, pro
sad
football,
stuff.
that's some tough stuff.
Yep, it is. It's 7:30. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we got to talk about a high school game where melee, that's the only other word for that. It was awful. So we'll talk about that when we come back. And also, there is a guy that he stole a car with a baby inside, and what he did next is kind of funny in a way.
Well,
so we'll
that's
talk.
good, because that's terrifying.
Yes, it is.
When somebody carjacks a car and there's children or a baby in it.
We'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill broadcasted live from the Clinton Tractor Studio. We'll be right back.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs, all conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience. Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Coming this June. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole. Plus, automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984.
We are back. The time is 7:35. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Therese and Dollar Bill here with you this morning. It's Monday. It's Columbus Day and
Indigenous Peoples Day.
And it's also fall break for Chilton County
Yeah,
schools.
that's right. And it does feel like fall has arrived. It feels nice and crisp and cold, chilly in this morning. I liked it driving in. It was nice. Normally I roll the windows down. I have in my truck, I've got that back window, the electric window that'll open, and I usually just have it blowing. This morning I had the windows down 2 inches because I got cold driving in. It was pleasant, though.
Yes, I actually had my windows down this morning, and I had to roll them up.
Right, me too. Up to about an inch.
Got a little cool.
Little chilly.
So there was a specific story that that Ricky sent me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was about a high school football brawl that went out. And I was trying to find it, and I couldn't find the exact one. And when I went
you
to
mean
try
there were
to
so
find
many
it,
you couldn't find the exact one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God.
And I went to try to find it. Unfortunately, there's like 5 stories that happened in the last 3 days on brawls at high schools. So I can't even find the right one. I did see one where apparently this one was in Philly, the one I'm
Philadelphia?
seeing, Philadelphia. Let's see. It had to a 3-game suspension due to the brawl.
Was it the football players brawling or the whole crowd?
Yes, I think everybody. I think it was everybody.
Started with football players and then the crowd joined in, huh? Wow.
There's also one here.
That doesn't surprise me in Philly, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think they like to fight.
Let's see. It's the Illinois High School Association said they're having to sort out what happens? The crew suspended the game with 24 seconds remaining in the second quarter, and the game was tied 14-14. Everybody came. The video I saw was players, people, everybody brawling. I mean, it was just like probably 150 people out there just going
On the
to town.
field?
On the field. I mean, and
You know, you can't pay for entertainment better than that.
but it's so sad. I mean,
It-
what are we doing?
You know, it's always kind of been that way, though. You think about, especially if it's a rivalry. I don't know. You never know what the underlying tensions are with the game like that. You know, you don't know if there's history there. If it could be racially based, it could be society based, or it could be just an old long-term horrible rivalry. Who knows? But that's something when you can empty the stands into the field and just have a melee going on in
Yeah.
there.
In Foley, a locker room fight broke out at Foley High School locker room. It led to multiple players being suspended and kicked off the football team.
Was it? If it was in the locker room, it must have been the same team
Yeah.
fighting each other. Then that doesn't sound like teamwork to me, or a
Well-
cohesive team.
Foley had been going up against Fairhope.
That's a big rivalry, wasn't
38-13 was the final in Fairhope's favor. And the next thing you know, the police department were called because there was a fight in the locker room.
it? In Foley's locker room,
And it said
they
that
must have
some
been
kids got
blaming each
hurt.
other for the big loss and got into a huge fight.
Yep. And apparently it ended up in some kids going to the hospital.
Wow.
Getting, but apparently the school contacted parents of the football players, and they had a mandatory meeting to talk about what happened. And I mean, it's just, that's crazy though. I mean, and I think the second that happens, the game, you shouldn't be fighting and then separate and then come back together and start playing. It
I
should
think
just be
that
shut
was
down
probably
right then
after
and
the
there.
game, wasn't it?
Huh?
Wasn't that when after the game was
It was,
over?
but I'm
So
just
they were
saying-
just mad at each other in the lock. What I say is, at that point, you might want to address the coach, because the coach is in charge of the boys, and I guess it's all boys. And then there's the fact that he's also in charge of their discipline, and whether or not they are disciplined players, sportsmanship, and their conduct.
Yeah.
So if they were that bad at blaming each other and getting into a fight, that may fall on some of the coaches as well as the players.
And there could be where it was like two people had been going at it for some time or something. you
Right.
know, they
But
just may
still,
have
if
been-
everybody else got in on it, that's not good either. But yeah, that's just bad.
Apparently Mary has figured out how to get on the live stream.
Who?
Mary.
Oh, my wife, Mary.
Yeah, she said, "Good morning, bye and tease.
Good morning, who?
Bye and tease.
Hi.
And tease.
Tease.
I guess
Well, she's close.
she's close.
She's getting. She may be on her phone instead of on her actual computer.
So good morning,
Good morning, Mary.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, meh.
Good morning. Good
From
morning.
Be and Tees.
Good
Morning, meh.
April. Morning, Marlon. He says Bama is number 6. So that's where y'all are sitting at number 6 now.
I thought they'd be in the top 5 after that game, but that 6 is good.
Yep. Good morning, Ricky. I guess he's all set up and just enjoying his coffee
Talladega.
this morning from chilly Talladega, I
Is he
bet.
set up out in the camping area?
Yeah,
Is that-
CNC
Yeah.
campground. Mhm.
Very good. That can be fun out there.
Yeah, I'm actually going out there. I work at the International Motorsports Hall of Fame during race
right.
week. I go on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I'll be a 4-dayer.
That's great.
And I do it because it's my Christmas
What do
money.
you do?
Whatever. Normally, I work where they do like the beer stuff and all
Yeah.
that, but they're doing it a little bit different this year, so I'm just doing whatever.
Whatever
me
they tell you to do.
And then
Very good.
Thursday night, Jamie's show, Dixie Sports Plus, is going to be broadcasting live from CNC Campground in
Excellent.
Talladega. We'll do that about 4:30 and go on to about 5:30.
That's
think.
excellent.
So, yeah, so we got a lot going on. Good morning, Miss Jamie.
You know, I have a story for Talladega. Well, I got several, but I got one
you?
that was really funny. When I was at ZZK, the one thing that WZZK had was they bought hideous amounts of T-shirts. We gave away T-shirts like candy. I mean, like in Halloween, we bought hundreds of dozens of T-shirts. They just believed that was a big deal. Of course, it's back in the 80s and 90s when it wasn't. And we bought good quality T-shirts too, which is really weird because a lot of places, if they're going to buy that many, they buy cheap, thin T-shirts and not really good. We bought nice Hanes T-shirts with and we bought sizes. We bought children's through, I think, 4X. And so anyway, we were known for giving away really good quality, lots of T-shirts. So Talladega, guess what? They always sent dollar bill to Talladega at race day. I'd get there early, drive around, throwing out, giving out T-shirts when I could, as many as I could. I usually gave away something like 20 dozen. I mean, it was.
Oh, wow, you gave away a bunch.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was bizarre when I look at it now. I took it for granted then. So they send me to Talladega. And guess where I go? Through the tunnel into the infield. The Sodom and Gomorrah of racing back in the 70s and 80s. It was where it was no man's land. It was wild. Everybody had to show me your Tata signs. Women were flashing everybody for a beer, whatever. And they had state troopers and police, but they kind of let things go until it just got either dangerous or just crazy, right? So I go driving in the big radio station ZZK van. We had a big fancy van, all painted black with the orange call letters on it and stuff. So it wasn't like you were subtle. And I pull in and people would rush the van for T-shirts. It was me and this little guy we had that was a young kid that was our intern. He was helping me. And he went into full panic mode the minute he saw all these drunks, because most of them, were guys in cut-off jeans and nothing else, and women with cut-off, Daisy Dukes
and nothing else,
or very
exactly.
little.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
usually cowboy boots too.
Cowboy boots, exactly, and maybe a top of some sort. But
Swimsuit
anyway,
top.
it was. I loved it. I was loving it.
Oh, I know you were.
Well, I threw T-shirts and I'd drive a little bit down through the infield and I'd throw T-shirts. Some of them would fall. We ended up with a huge crowd. So I ran out of T-shirts. I mean, I gave away several hundred T-shirts, hundreds, but I ran out before I could get out of the tunnel. They rioted. So we're in the van and they're all rocking the van and it was great. And I'm going, we're out. And the little intern guy was crying like a 12-year-old girl who had just lost her puppy or something. I mean, he was terrified. And so they kept rocking the van, going, T-shirts. And we're rocking left and right. And they pushed a little too hard and over we go on my side. So I'm laying on the ground on my side and the driver's side. The intern has flopped on me, and now he's on top of me.
My gosh.
All the crap that you have that's in like change and paper clips and
Everything's
pins
everywhere,
is all flying on you and stuff. I'm looking to my left out the window, and I see ground. Rusted the mirror, of course, the side view mirror just destroyed. And he's screaming, they're going to kill us, they're going to kill us, they're going to kill us. I said, it's okay, because once we tipped over, they all went, ooh, backed off. State troopers come running. I think, oh boy, they're going to arrest a bunch of people. Nah. They just corralled them up and said, set them back upright. So all the drunks get on the van and they rock it back up and we bang on our wheels and state trooper comes up to me, busted window and mirror, and I roll the window down. He goes, well, is it running? I go, yeah, I did the gas. Yeah, it's still running. All right, get out of here. Off we went.
That was it.
Yeah, and
How'd you explain that to your bosses about the car being totaled on one side?
Well, I told them what happened. They went, okay. So they fixed the window. We went to Talladega next year. We just took a few extra shirts. So we actually stopped going into the infield too.
Yeah.
We stayed out where we could make a quick escape.
My gosh.
And because of all that, we barely got, they're about to shut the tunnel down. It was getting close to race time, and they'll shut the tunnel down for the race.
Oh, you barely got out.
Oh, yeah, I barely got, I was the last vehicle, I think, out. I think they actually had shut it down and then they let me out.
You out.
And then the
Get
race.
him out of here, troublemakers.
Oh my God! Well, no, they loved it. I mean, it's all part of the show. But it was, I thought it was one of the most fun times I'd ever been at Talent. But I used to also sit in these, there are those boxes. Well, it used to be the Uniball balls in the turns up on poles where the MRN racing people sit, and the judges. So I used to go every year with Eli Gold when he was doing MRN
He did that
racing.
for a long time.
And he was always, most of the time, in that second turn up and by the time we were there, it was the Winston Cup cigarette box. And so we go up in there, and that's back when Elliott just got in first place and just stayed there. And there wasn't a race for who was going to win it. There was a race for who was going to be second, third, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Elliott just, he had that card before they started doing the restrictor plates and stuff. He just would get out in front and just stay. Nobody could get near him.
Yeah, couldn't get near him.
So I got kind of bored, and I found out if you went to the back of the cigarette box and you look down there was all these weeds and stuff. It wasn't where anybody was. It was the weeds and dirt part behind the stands. A lot of girls would have to go to the bathroom. So they would wander out in these weeds and look around, wouldn't see anybody looking at them, pull their pants down and pee. And of course, I'm standing there looking right at them with my binoculars. I was having the best time. And once they finish peeing and pull their pants up, I go, "Thank you, hello," and they go, "Oh God!" Well, some of them go, "Oh God," and some of them go, "Shoot me a bird," and walk back. They could care less. They didn't care. But it was
Well, it's not like
it was my entertainment that year.
That's crazy. All right, it's 7:49. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, I saw an article that Dale Jr. They interviewed him, and he made some comments and something I did not know about DEI. So we'll talk about that when we come back. Also, there was a manufacturing plant explosion in Tennessee. I think that happened.
It was
Friday.
a big explosion.
Yeah, that was a big one. We'll talk about that. And then we'll talk about the man who stole a car with a baby inside. And
Oh, God.
And this is actually an old story. It happened like in 2021, but it's just now coming back around social media, and I just thought it was kind of funny. So we'll talk about that
Obviously,
when we come
the
back.
baby was okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clayton Tractor Studio. We'll be right back.
Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
Universal Heights Academy is now enrolling for the following programs: aesthetics, manicurist, waxing, cosmetology, barbering, and the instructor crossover program. We are offering small class sizes for more personalized instruction. Hybrid and online classes are also available. Find us on Facebook or visit uhaway.com for more information on our discounted enrollment rates. Your rewarding career starts with Universal Heights Academy.
Workout Anytime in Clanton is now open. Your fitness, your schedule. We have top-of-the-line treadmills and weights, but we are more than just a gym. We bring luxury and results to your fitness routine. Relax in our sauna. Recharge with red light therapy. Refresh in our hydro massage beds. Get that glow with unlimited tanning and push your limits with dynamic classes. Need guidance? Our personal trainers are here to help you set your goals, stay motivated, and get real results. This is your space, your time, your transformation, open 24/7. Workout Anytime, now open in Clanton. We are back. The time is 7:53. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill here with you.
Good morning.
It is Monday, Columbus Day,
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Which he had to tell me what that even meant. That's pretty sad. I had no idea what that even meant.
Well, you know, they got years ago, they started having a lot of controversy about removing Columbus Day from the calendar because they said Columbus was really horrific to the Native Americans when he came here or in the Caribbean, then America, and, and that we treated the Native Americans, the indigenous people, so badly, enslaved them, killed them, treated them bad. So I think to kind of balance it out, they kept Columbus Day, but they also made it Indigenous Peoples Day to balance it out. So there you go. And it's, historically, that's probably correct.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to them having a day.
No, me neither.
Why would you take over somebody else's day?
Because it was to balance out the negative.
Okay.
I don't know. You would think they would have picked another day for it, but I guess that balanced it out. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not mad about it.
I'm not.
Way.
I mean,
whatever.
Columbus. We didn't name. Well, we did. They did call this country Columbia for a long time, but yeah, we didn't name it after Columbus. So,
well, what I have a problem with is taking a day and then just changing it to
something else.
To something else to pacify other people.
Well, that's what they're doing with any of the Confederate holidays.
Yeah.
They even the word Confederate. There was Confederate Railroad. They're hanging on to their name.
They're not giving it up. Danny Scott said, where it would freeze over before he gives up that name.
Right.
And they lost a lot of gigs there for a little while when there was a big uproar about it. But guess what? Now that it's all died down,
yeah, nobody thinks about it anymore.
They get as many days. They had a couple places cancel on them.
Well, there was the Confederacy. There was the Confederate States of America. It's historical. Doesn't mean it was right, but it did happen. But there was a bunch of guys that started back right after World War II trying to save all the famous airplanes from World War II before they were just all scrapped.
Mm-hmm.
So they saved the really famous fighters and the bombers and stuff, and they called it the Confederate Air Force, the CAF. Mm-hmm. It was meant to be kind of a joke. Or, they were out of Texas. Well, now they're the Commemorative Air Force because they said they had to drop the word Confederate because it sounded bad. A confederacy is not just the Confederate States of America. A confederacy is like a republic. It is a term of government or situation. There have been all kind of confederacies all through history. But anyway, they tie it to the United States Civil War between the states. And so, remember there was Lady Antebellum. Lady Antebellum, the antebellum just is Latin for before the war. Mm-hmm. Ante before bellum. So, I mean, I don't even know why but they dropped that. So now they're just Lady A. What was the other one? There was two of them. Dixie Chicks.
Now they're just Dixie. The Chicks, which is stupid. Don't get me rolling on that. Of course, I quit listening to them a long time ago, and I mean that was when cancel culture first came about.
Yep.
But you know what? I think a lot of folks want to cancel a lot of people for a lot of different reasons, but I do think it's not good if you go to another country and slam your president in your country. It's not a good look. And if people wanted to still listen to their music, they could. I wasn't holding any grudges towards them, but I quit listening to them myself.
It's okay because, Natalie Maines, the lead singer, who is incredibly liberal and woke.
She's talented as crap.
She also really dissed the entire country music industry. Now, sure, there were a lot of people that didn't like what they said about President Bush in London, in England. And they have a right to not want to listen to him anymore if they hold it against them personally. Mm-hmm. But there were a lot of country people that didn't care and liked the Dixie Chicks music, and they listened to him. Mm-hmm. But they had to wholesale condemn. They said all country music listeners are rednecks and backward and stupid. And once you do that, that's
when that's the demographic that listens to you and spends money on your music, those are not the ones you want to insult.
well, and they're not and they were incorrect in assuming all country listeners are backward, redneck, racist, whatever. So I mean, she's a little nutty. And then the two sisters that are the other two chicks, I've forgotten their names now.
Emily
and yeah. Anyway, they have kind of followed suit. They've become quite liberal too, but Natalie's the lead thing. But one of the other sisters is pretty liberal too, and that's fine. Listen, if you want to be as liberal as you want, that's your business. I could care less. And I liked the Dixie Chicks music.
I do too.
I love some of their songs. Earl's Gotta Die, whatever that's, and some
that's
of those.
Still one of the most karaoke songs
Yeah,
ever.
but politically, and they did something kind of dumb. Instead of just letting it die and just kind of looking the other way and continuing on, they had to bow up and piss more people off. Just
they
make
doubled
people,
down.
They doubled down, and then continued to insult the people that made them huge stars.
Yeah.
But I got an insight into them because when they first started, they were as nice and down to earth as they could be, accommodating, nice.
Yeah.
I met them several. We actually hired them to do a concert in Briarfield, Alabama, and we paid them almost nothing. And they came out and did a great job. Well, then when they were getting started, they were starting having some success. They came by and they were nice. Once they hit big time, they turned into, Natalie and, really all three of them turned into jerks. They got to where they wouldn't speak to anybody. They held their audience. And this is way before the George Bush comment. They didn't like their listeners. They were their fans. They refused to do meet and greets. They wouldn't sign autographs. They wouldn't meet people. They were just divas from hell. And that I started turning against their attitude long before they said the thing about Bush. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where they are now. I know they're still standing their ground and that's fine. But they paid for it with their lack of success. Then they tried to go mainstream pop or rock.
That didn't go
and that
over
didn't
well.
work at all.
Yeah, it's Natalie Maines, Marty McGuire,
Marty.
Emily Robinson.
Yeah.
Now Emily
Marty
Robinson
and Emily
was married to Charlie Robinson.
Yeah.
And he passed away.
Right.
But
they're sisters, Emily and Marty.
They are. And it's it was weird because Natalie was out there saying all this stuff, and it was putting the other two sisters kind of in a like a deer in the headlights type of thing. They wouldn't make comments on whether they agreed with her or not. They were like, "Well,
but then
she
they
still
did.
Are," and then they kind of
caved in.
So
I don't know if they did it because they really believed it, or if they did it to keep peace between the three of them.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. All I know is it hurt them. As far as their popularity and then they turned around and insult all the people that did like them, as well as the people that didn't.
Yeah, I mean, why would you do that? That's
stupid.
Kind of dumb. Real quick, I want to talk about this story before we go to break because I said we would talk about it. This is actually a story from 2021, but it just has kind of recirculated on Facebook and Instagram, and people are sharing it left and right like it happened, over the weekend. But this is kind of a funny story. Oregon police say that a man had stolen a vehicle from a grocery store parking lot, and when he stole the car, he looked in the back and realized there was a 4-year-old in the back seat, or younger. I'm not even sure. I'm showing a car seat that he's bringing back, but they say he's 4. I'm thinking maybe 4-month-old. But he realized the baby was in the back. He comes back to the grocery store parking lot, hands over the kid, proceeds to bless the parents out for leaving the kid in the car by himself, then takes off in the car again.
Oh, he went ahead and stole the car?
He still stole sell the car.
But he did bring the baby
He
back.
brought the baby
and then
back.
cussed him out for leaving the baby alone in the car.
Yeah.
You know, I hope he got off light. I think he did the right thing in a lot of ways.
Well, he
one
said-
fatal mistake. One not
He
fatal.
was like, "What are you thinking, leaving your kid in the car by himself?" Because she was kind of inside the
they
store.
must have left the car running.
They did.
So he could just hop in and get the car.
He says that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Well, that is a bad
I don't
parent.
know. I think he was caught because it does show like a mug shot. But the fact that he gets out, hands him the car seat, and what do you think? The bystander said, "Yeah, you just bless the parents out for doing that." Hands the kid over and then takes back off in the car.
Were there two parents?
It says parents, so I'm assuming.
Wow,
there
that's
was.
really stupid. In that one of them didn't stay in the car with the baby or take him in with him. Well, you know, whatever. That's crazy.
Well, here's the thing. This one says it was just the mom. Another article that I saw said parents, so it's just probably people reporting.
Yeah, so it probably just was one.
Yeah.
Because if there were two, there'd be no reason for both of them to go in the store
Right.
and leave the baby.
I got so tickled when I saw that.
I love
Wholesome.
that.
And then what got me was that he handed the kid over and then
And then
took
got back in
off
their
in the
car.
car.
Well, you know what? I hope he got a light sentence in a sense. She gave him a, you know, that was her fault for leaving not only the kid alone in the car, which nowadays is ridiculous, but leaving it running with the key in it and running. I guess that means it might have been a warm or hot day. So she's leaving a child in a car with the car running. So I guess so the air conditioner or heater's working. What if the car had gone off, just died, you know, or whatever? I just think, she gave that man an almost undeniable opportunity to steal that car. So it's almost not his
it's
fault.
like, come over here and steal this car.
Yeah,
It's kind
I'm
of
going to
what it
leave
was.
this
Come
car
on
running
in.
with the keys in it running. Come hop in, unlocked. Come lock it, hop in.
All
Oh,
right.
by the way, there's a baby in the back seat.
Yeah. It's 8:05. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we'll talk about that Tennessee manufacturing plant
Oh, it
explosion.
blew up.
And then something else I forgot to talk about was Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys. He got some folks stirred up over
Dax
something.
did.
Over he refused to do something, and I kind of am on his side about it. So we'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clayton Track Studio. We'll be right back.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. Whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss, Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
We are back. The time is 8:07. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill here with you.
Good
on this
morning.
Monday. It feels good outside.
So it's Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day. Is there mail service of the banks? I mean, is this like a federal holiday,
I
or
think
is this
it is. I'm pretty sure.
so?
the
No
banks are
mail, no
closed.
the banks closed. I don't know.
I believe so. Yeah, I noticed there wasn't hardly a lot of traffic today
Yeah, I
on
didn't
my way
notice
into
much on the
work.
road either. Yeah.
So, I believe this happened on Friday. Yeah, it did. There was on Friday there was a plant explosion, manufacturing plant explosion in McElwain, Tennessee, and it says that confirmed 16 people have died in this explosion. I guess all 16 people that were working, those were the ones that were working that day. There were 0 survivors.
You can tell when you see amazing
Yeah,
nowadays.
there's
There's
nothing.
video of everything. I mean, there's so many video cameras out, I guess, for security and people with cameras. Now, almost any disaster, you get you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's shocking, but it's exciting and shocking. And I guess it does help a lot because it can give clues to the forensics later of what happened. But
Yeah.
when you see that plant blow up, it doesn't just like catch on fire. There's nothing but a hole in the ground where that building was.
Yeah, it shows the building from an aerial view before it happened. Like, I guess they had it was a Google view one.
Right.
And you see it now.
It's just a
there's
hole in the ground.
absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing there. There's a few cars that were in the parking lot that are burnt to a crisp. A couple of them have been blown out of the parking lot and somewhere else. But when I tell you there is nothing there is nothing there. It looks like everything that could burnt all the way and is nothing but soot.
Yeah, the only thing that it gives you a little bit of feeling is that those people never knew what hit them, probably.
Yeah, I don't think they
I
did.
think it was just instant, and at least nobody burned or suffered particularly, probably. But that's horrible. There's been a lot of explosions lately of buildings. There was that one place in Tennessee where the mine shaft that was under a neighborhood, nobody really hardly knew it was down there.
Yeah.
It blew up. Remember that?
I don't know.
Just
I don't
about
remember that.
A couple months ago.
That's wild.
And it completely destroyed a few houses. I don't know if it killed anybody, but then we've had a fair number of explosions, plants catching fire and really exploding. This one, I think, was a munitions plant. The one you're talking about made ammunition. So, of course, it had
did.
horrible flammable explosive materials in it.
Yeah, and they said they do not know the cause of the explosion as of yet, but a lot of people are chattering about it, saying it's very suspicious.
Really?
And interesting. I don't know what's going to end up coming out of this.
16 people,
of
that's
course,
awful.
Originally it was 19, but they found out that 3 of those people that were
Weren't at work.
thought to be part of it ended up being at a different location. They were not there when
Thank
that
God.
happened. So they were,
Can you
ended up
imagine the
being alive
story
and
they're
cared
telling
for.
their family members?
Yeah.
If I hadn't had to go pick up this equipment, or if I hadn't had to go run an errand, or if I hadn't gone to lunch, whatever. Can you imagine? I mean, they would have been, that's spooky for
It
them.
is. I guess we'll just, keep watching to find out if they do come up with
A
It's
reason?
going to take a minute.
Well, yeah, there's
that's
no
not-
evidence.
Yeah, it's going to.
I mean,
Got to
there's
figure
nothing.
this one out.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Oh man, that's so sad. I hate
Yeah,
that. I hate
16
stuff like
deaths.
that.
That's big.
Yeah, I was going to talk about this story. It's been in the news that Dax Prescott refused to wear LGBT
Q.
gear or whatever they were wanting them to wear because he said that he's not going to be forced to wear anything that he doesn't want to. But it turns out that those stories are false.
Oh,
That did
really?
not happen, and it has apparently the stories are just being created, made up, and he's not the only athlete that has been accused of doing this. It's just they're just picking out different ones.
High profile, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's fake news and propaganda. And here's the thing about this type of stuff is that not only now do we have this that we can't discern what's real and what's fake. Have you seen a lot of these videos that are made of AI?
Oh, God,
that are
yes.
showing this
They've
stuff
got
that happened. And
Kennedy,
you're like,
President Kennedy and his wife in the motorcade doing these horrible jokes about, like she said, she leans over to him. They're riding in Daily Plaza, obviously in the motorcade just before he's shot. She leans over. It looks just like her, sounds just. She says, "Jack," she said, did you eat anything earlier today? Did you have any food?" And he goes, "No." He said, "I didn't." In that accent. And she goes, "You better, you should have eaten something." He says, "Oh, what's it going to do? Give me a headache?" And then that, he was shot in the head.
Yeah.
There was another joke and it looks and sounds just like him. It's got the color of like the Zapruder film. Looks like their mouth, their face, you wouldn't know it for real. You've got all these things now coming out with celebrities promoting goofy stuff that they really wouldn't be promoting or doing. Now you cannot tell hardly what's AI. And they got all these videos now of cats attacking bears. Have you seen those yet?
No, I haven't
They're
seen
all over the
those.
place. Where a bear's coming in a yard where there's a baby in the yard and about to attack the baby, and a cat jumps on the bear and runs it off. And then there's one where a bear's up on a porch and a cat flies out of and runs the bear. There's just, for some reason now, people are doing bears being attacked by house cats.
Yeah.
And they look so real.
Yeah, they
There's
do.
no way to tell. And so now it's scary now, because now I distrust every single video I see now. I distrust them all. There's not one I would rely on, hardly.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to. I mean, it's spooky now. It's taken every bit of.
Well, and there was this
Truth
one
out of stuff.
Video. It showed a guy being interviewed from The View, and it looks like he is telling one of them off, and all this, that, and the other.
It never happened,
looks
probably,
like,
did it?
It looks like he's really there. It looks like he's really
Sure.
being interviewed. The background is the same, and yet it's just a generated.
Right.
He did say those things, but he wasn't on The View, and it wasn't to them. And
Right.
it's just like it gets stuff stirred up. You don't know what's what. I mean, it's just continual. You can't. And being, somebody in radio or in news or TV or whatever, you're trying to find things to talk about, and then you're having to double check, triple check, quadruple check what you're saying to make sure it actually even happened.
Let me tell you what's really scary to me. I met a guy up in Tennessee when I was up there last week, and he said his wife worked for the hotel I was staying in, and she said, "Have you heard the song my husband wrote and did for me?" And I went, "No." So she pulled out her phone, and it was it was incredible. It was fully orchestrated. It sounded amazing. The vocals were top notch. None of it was real except the words.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband wrote out a song, put it on AI, told it what kind of music he wanted behind it, create the music, create the voice, and sing it. And from just words on a page, this incredible song came out, fully orchestrated, well mixed. I will say he's a pretty good songwriter.
Yeah.
But none of it was real. And also, because none of it was real, nobody can say it isn't licensed. I mean, it's not licensed. So it's free to
whatever.
Yeah.
They had that, that's kind of the big thing in Hollywood right now is all these AI actors and actresses getting, recognized at awards and stuff. And some of these Hollywood people are like, no. Why were they getting recognized for something that
doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, you're like, what in the world?
Right. I'm gonna, if it's okay, I'm gonna play a little of the audio for one of his songs. Again, nothing is real. Every bit of this was created with AI. Nobody played this. It's not an instrument. No human being did this. A computer created the voice. Nothing's real we're listening to.
That's wild.
Isn't that amazing? And what's really, did you hear it? Could you hear it?
What?
The song.
Yeah, I can hear it
Okay,
a little
because
bit.
they're in my hearing aids, and I didn't know if you could hear
Yeah,
it.
I can hear it a little bit.
Okay, it wasn't on the speaker. There's also another song he did, and it's like a completely different genre. So
That's
it's
wild.
frightening to hear really good music being created by a computer, a machine, and the only thing that was real was the words he wrote.
So hubby found this song. It was for the Alabama team, Roll Tide or something like that. And I think it's one of those AI songs because they have
Is it the one that's got the S word all in it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And it's got
Sounds like a rap song.
Kind of, and it's kind of hard, not kind of like country rap, I guess you call it. And there's one for every single team. You just type out whatever team, and they've got one for all of them. They got one for Auburn. They've got one in a female voice, and then a completely different song in a male voice. It is wild.
And they've now you can go on some of these apps, and they will create a song for your wife or husband. You can get on there and say, okay, my husband's name is Daryl, and my name is Becky, and we've been married for 22 years, and we live in Birmingham, or what. You just tell it all this stuff, and it writes a song, and it's amazing. I mean, it comes out fully orchestrated. You tell it what you want it to be: country, you want it to be a love ballad, you want it to be hard, you want it to be up and funny. It does it.
I wish I could find it. I don't know if I can find it. If I can, I will play it for us because it's got some bad words. I won't be able to play it.
Well, it's amazing what, again, this all goes back to the future. There's almost nothing now that can't be created both orally, sound only, or visually now with video that you can trust. You just don't know. They're getting better. And the thing is with AI, it learns from itself. So these first videos that they do might be a little wonky, and the voice, the mouths and expressions aren't exact. Every time they do one, they learn from it. They get better and better and better, and at an exponential rate. They're getting better by the second, not by the day. So a week can make a huge difference in the quality of some of this stuff.
Yep. It's amazing. It's
It really
8:20.
is.
We're going to take another break. When we come back, did you see the story about the Universal Studios roller coaster?
Oh, no.
There's been all kinds of stuff. It was Universal's Epic, Epic Universe that we
the one they
went to.
just opened.
And then
in
there's
May.
another just at the Universal Studios. Something happened on a roller coaster there. Eek. And then there was a lady was going into a store. Somebody held the door for her, and she did not say thank you. And we'll tell you what happened after that. So,
Really? Something happened because she didn't say
something.
thank you?
Something bad. So we'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clinton Tractor Studio. We'll be right back.
Need reliable towing or diesel repair? MEMS Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust MEMS Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
Universal Heights Academy is now enrolling for the following programs: aesthetics, manicurist, waxing, cosmetology, barbering, and the instructor crossover program. We are offering small class sizes for more personalized instruction. Hybrid and online classes are also available. Find us on Facebook or visit uhaway.com for more information on our discounted enrollment rates. Your rewarding career starts with Universal Heights Academy.
Workout Anytime in Clanton is now open. Your fitness, your schedule. We have top-of-the-line treadmills and weights, but we are more than just a gym. We bring luxury and results to your fitness routine. Relax in our sauna. Recharge with red light therapy. Refresh in our hydro massage beds. Get that glow with unlimited tanning and push your limits with dynamic classes. Need guidance? Our personal trainers are here to help you set your goals, stay motivated, and get real results. This is your space, your time, your transformation, open 24/7. Workout Anytime, now open in Clanton. We are back. The time is 8:24. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill here with you. Before the break, we talked about a news story where a woman was shot and killed over an argument of not saying thank you.
Now, wait a minute. She was shot and killed? What's the story?
Well, so the lady that got shot and killed held the door open for another lady. The lady didn't say thank you. And the other lady said, you could at least say thank you. I mean,
sure.
I held the door open for you, which I get that, happens to me a lot. You'll hold the door open and people just walk right on through and not say anything, which I think is rude.
It is.
Because I always say thank you.
You should.
Well, the two ladies get into a verbal altercation, going on and on and on. Well, the lady was with her daughter, so they go to their car, and the other lady follows them out, the one that didn't say thank you, and she throws something at their vehicle. Well, the other lady, who held the door open, came back out, and I guess she popped her one, because they were getting into it. The lady who didn't say thank you goes to her car, pulls out a gun, and shoots the lady that held the door open for her. All of this stemmed from not saying thank you.
And taking offense at that,
yeah.
too. Wow. This
lady was killed in front of her daughter.
Escalating instead of de-escalating bothers me because so first of all, if the lady didn't say thank you, I guess it's okay to say you could say something, but you held the door. It's not under the condition that someone say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're holding the door. If they just gone through, she should have just shrugged and said, rude, that woman's rude, and just gone on in with her daughter and not worried about it.
Yep.
So that's, by saying something, that starts something. Then this woman's going to pop back. And so they finished their argument, basically, some way. And now the woman and her daughter go to the car. This woman's got to go out there and throw something at the car, which is ridiculous. This woman, instead of just picking up the phone and calling 911, calling the police, has to get out of the car and physically have an altercation.
Yep.
It just escalates to the point where then the other woman goes and gets her gun and shoots and kills her. Tragedy from both sides. I mean, that's both their faults. Certainly the woman shouldn't have been killed for that, and the other woman shouldn't have killed her. But they are both almost equally responsible for that.
Agreed.
So,
agreed.
It's just you got to be smart about this stuff. You want to, some people just don't know when it's time to just shake it off and shrug and go the other way, out of some kind of weird little principle or not wanting to lose an argument.
It's wild.
Once that lady threw something at her car, she could have called the police.
Yeah, she should have. That's exactly what she should have done.
Yeah.
There was also, we talked at, I guess it was Monday, we talked about a helicopter crash that happened and 3 people were rescued. Well, another helicopter crash happened in Huntington Beach, California, leaving 5 people injured. It's just so wild that this happened. And this hit trees and everything else, and it happened like right at the beach.
There's a good video of it from a standpoint of some kids playing on it looked like a tennis court.
Yeah. And
I can tell you what happened to that helicopter because it's very obvious. It had a tail rotor failure. When you, I used to fly helicopters a little bit, and you practice the tail rotor failure, which is, for me, was the scariest, weirdest thing to try to control. But basically, you try to get the helicopter to auto-rotate down somewhere safe. And this helicopter was flying, and all of a sudden you could see the tail rotor give up, and it starts spinning on its axis, on its horizontal axis with no tail rotor. And they started a auto-rotation, it looked like, but all they had under them was trees. And you could hear something horrible going on in the engine. Mm-hmm. The engine was still running, but I think whatever the linkage is to the tail rotor and whatever. But yeah, I'm surprised anybody survived it. The only thing I think that saved them was they did hit a bunch of palm trees, mm-hmm. and it seemed to break the fall.
It did. It also, I don't know if you knew this, but the pilot that was that owned the helicopter is a daredevil known for death-defying stunts too. His name is Eric Nixon.
So he was a good pilot.
Yeah,
I mean, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah. He's in the hospital, broken ribs, crushed vertebrae, and some bruises.
No one was killed, though.
Nobody
there were
was
5
killed.
people?
Just by the grace of the Lord that they were not killed.
Yeah.
It does say a child and 2 adults were injured on the ground, but their conditions are unknown.
Yeah, stuff went everywhere flying, so they could have gotten hit by palm tree debris or helicopter debris. Boy, it's amazing.
Somebody says here that there may have been a bird strike with a tail rotator.
Tail rotor, yeah. Maybe. I know that obviously that you can tell.
Not rotator, rotor.
Yeah, the tail rotor definitely failed because you can see it. The helicopter was flying fine, and suddenly something popped, and it may have been when they hit a bird. And then the thing just starts spinning. That's what a tail rotor does. It keeps the helicopter from just spinning.
And it was spinning. It was spinning. Lord, those people are so lucky. Goodness gracious.
The only way you can try to control that spin is with the throttle. You have to roll the throttles on and off to try to stop the spin, but it's something else.
I mean, let's see. Good morning, Brenda. Let's see here. What else we got? There was something else I was gonna closed out I do that. I keep closing out my stuff. It messes me up here. That was an accident. Did you see where President Trump is going to award Charlie Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom?
No, I didn't see that.
Yep. He says he's going to do that. I think that's amazing. Tomorrow is Charlie Kirk's birthday, and they're asking everybody to wear red freedom shirts in honor of him for that day. And I'm going to go get mine today so that I can wear it tomorrow.
Just red?
Red, and then the shirt that says freedom on it. He wore the white freedom shirt the day he was killed.
Oh, no.
But they're asking everybody to wear red ones. And boy,
where do you get red freedom shirts?
I'm going to have to go get one made. I'm going to go to this and that vinyl and get one. I was going to order one, and I waited too late, obviously, and they're saying now that they won't be in until the 22nd because everybody is ordering them.
Yeah, I bet.
So, there was Universal Studios. Let's find that. There was a
you said there was a ride, roller coaster. What
roller coaster
happened?
ride at the Universal Studios. It's called the Rip Ride Rocket. It was on fire.
On fire?
On fire.
What-
It caught on fire.
What burns on a roller coaster?
It looks like, and they showing in the video, the fire department is there. So like where it's weird because the roller coaster does this, like all the way
Circles?
down like a spiral.
Spirals?
And it's like part of where the track is looking on fire, but it's on fire on several different levels.
Must be friction must have sparked
Yeah.
it.
It looks like maybe 2 or 3 levels here. And they closed it down. They called it a small fire. So, I mean, they're not sure how the fire started.
Wow.
They don't even know how it started.
A fire on a roller coaster does, if it's not intentional, if it's not like the flaming comet. Of course, it did say it was the rocket?
Yeah, and it says here that maybe it was a ride that was closed down too. Like it wasn't in use. It just caught fire somehow. Isn't that weird?
That's really bad.
That's weird,
That either
weird.
sounds like somebody set it, or I guess it could be electrical. You had a short that set the thing on fire, but if it was out of commission,
Yeah.
why would they have any power? Maybe have it lit up for looks. I don't know.
No, something happened there.
But at least nobody was riding it when it caught on fire. Is that right?
Yeah, look, there's been so many things happening with rides at these amusement parks. If I
remember
never go to another
one guy
one, it'll be
got
too
caught
soon.
caught, and another guy got spit out on a cruise ship on a ride. Remember the water slide thing?
Yeah.
And one guy got stuck, and another guy it broke, and he tumbled out of it. Then Universal's had a few things go wrong getting the bugs out of their stuff.
Yeah. Also, there was like 2 different shootings in South Carolina at 2 separate bars, and 30 people were shot, 6 people killed total.
What?
Yeah.
What's
Did you
going
see
on in
that?
South Carolina?
I do not know. It is wild. Once again, I closed my thing out. I don't know why I keep doing that.
2 different bars,
Mm-hmm.
2 different shootings that weren't connected at all, and that many people.
Saturday, an open fire. 2 people were killed and at least 3 people were shot. And then at a coastal bar shooting, it was at Willie's Bar and Grill on Martin Luther King Drive. Deputy arrived to hundreds of people at the bar, many running for shelter. At least 20 people were shot. The exact number is still unclear. 4 people died at the scene.
Good Lord.
The BCSO said the agency is looking into persons of interest.
So they don't know who really did it.
That
Wow.
might be a collective thing going on there. I don't know. That's wild.
Well, you know what my grandmama always said? Nothing good happens after midnight.
I tell my son that too, because he still likes to. He's 25.
Go out. Yeah, he wants to go
likes
out and
have a
play.
good time. And I was like, son, nothing good happens after midnight.
Right.
Ever. I don't think I can ever count anything that ever happened to me that was good after midnight
No.
for sure.
I've got a lot that didn't go well after midnight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah. It is 8:36. I want you to do a story time with Bill.
Uh-oh. I don't know what story I should tell. I seem like I was
Gotta
telling
be
some.
something good.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was telling some stuff over the weekend. When I was up in Tennessee, they were asking me some stories. I told them about, have I ever told you about the bloody-headed DJ the day that I did tell them about my hair transplant.
Friday.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right, because I told it up in Tennessee. And, I look back on that 50-year career, and there were so many goofy things. Have I told you that I broke the record in Selma, knocked myself out on the air live?
Oh, falling down.
With the
you
bathroom,
told
my
that.
pants down. Good, I've told you all my good stuff. I'm thinking
that
of all
one.
these stories that I can't tell on the air right now. I did also when I was, I'm terrified of spiders.
Yeah, me too.
And I hate spiders. And I was working at Kicks 106 back in about 79 or 80. And I was doing 7 to midnight. I was rocking, I was rock and roll, and I was cooking and rocking, taking calls. And I started a break. Back then, you know, the worst thing you could have in the world was dead air. I mean,
Right.
you didn't want a moment of dead silence. You had to talk. Music had to be played. Something. You wanted solid noise. You didn't ever want a moment of silence. So I'm sitting there and I'm just going to a break and I'm just talking up stuff. And about that time, the board was in front of me that had all the big knobs. You know, back in the old days, you had all those, the control board with all the big knobs. You didn't have the sliders. You had big black potentiometers, they called them.
Right.
And you turned them. And over the top of this, the back of the board, looking right at me, was the biggest spider I've ever seen in my life. He just kind of came up like a monster out of the deep and had eyes. You could see these little glowing eyes. He was about the size of I'm going to say a dinner plate, but it certainly wasn't that big. But he looked really big, and he was hideous looking. And he was all animated, you know, like a tarantula almost, but he was hairy looking. And I was talking, and I looked up, and he's only about 8 inches in front of me, you know. And I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me, and I think on the air I just stopped. I was going, you know, I was talking like, you know, disc jockey, trying to be all upbeat and just horrible energy and stuff. So tonight we're going to boop. And I just went dead. And I think I whimpered like a child. I think I went, oh. And this thing I happened to have, we kept a can of Lysol in the studios because we had these big puffs on the mic, much bigger than the ones we've got. But you'd spray them down before you started and after because you didn't want to catch the flu or whatever. It's way before COVID. But you know, people spit on it and touched it with their mouths all the time. I mean, spitting when you talk, you know. So you'd spray it down, and the mic puff would smell horribly of Lysol. But anyway, still better than being sick. So now we're on the air live, and suddenly it's dead quiet. And I reach over and grab the can of Lysol, and you hear on the air, it's all I had and I literally foamed up this spider to where it looked like a big puff ball of shaving cream.
That's funny.
And I thought, well, that ought to get him. And I start to talk again. I said, so coming up, and he leapt at my face.
No, he did not.
Yes,
no.
And came right at my face, and I screamed like a child and kicked my back. And when I did, the chair caught the that thing that it rolls on and flipped me over backwards. Now, all I'm thinking is I'm going, you know, tea kettle over head, you know, butt over head backwards. One, the mic's still on and they're hearing all this on the air. And two, there's a foamy spider that's on me somewhere. So when I hit the ground backwards, tumbled, all this noise on the air, the chair, and it was a big metal, you know, chair. And I'm screaming and hollering, and I'm trying to brush anything off trying to see if there's a spider on me, and I'm banging around. And finally, I realized I'm still on the air, and they're hearing it sounds like a fight going on because I'm banging and yelling and going, Jesus, yeah. And I finally reached over and just turned the mic off, and then realized that we're sitting there dead. So I started a record. 20 minutes later, police are there because listeners thought I had somebody had come in the control room and attacked me, and we'd had a fight.
To tell them.
Yeah.
It was
Oh yeah. I had to tell them it was a spider, and they all call me some horrible names. Wussy might be probably the best one I could.
The best one you can think of. The only one you can say.
Only one I can say. And they were laughing, and there was, you know, the room smelled of horrible Lysol. There was foam, everywhere. We never did find.
I was
going to
ask, did you ever find that spider?
And I was the whole rest of the night was like at 9 o'clock at night. I still had 3 hours on the air, and the whole time I was on the air, I kept thinking it was going to crawl up my leg or show up or whatever. Never found it again.
Oh, that is awful. You know, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I came in here and there was a big old spider on the floor, stopped me dead in my tracks. I mean,
Yeah.
it was huge. And I went and got a jar that I have, and I put the jar over it. And then as I was lifting the jar up, I put the lid over it, and I set it right there where Baden does all his producing. And he's like, "What is it?" I said, "It's a spider." That spider was humongous.
Yeah.
But it sat there, and then I started
Dared you to
feeling,
pass it.
Well, and I was still feeling bad, so I was like, "Oh, I don't want to kill it." So
Oh, I
during
don't
one of
mind
the
killing.
breaks, I took the jar outside and let it out by the sign, because Baden was like, "You can let it go, but you need to let it go out towards the
Yeah,
road.
don't bring not near the
Or
door.
get back in here." So
If I see a
didn't.
spider standing in my or hanging on a web in my way, all I can hear in my head is that Monty Python thing where the Black Knight says, "None shall pass,"
None shall pass.
because I ain't going around him or through him. I'm gonna back off. I hate spiders.
This, the month of October is known for Halloween. Lots of stuff going on this month. The town of Jemison is having a Halloween trunk or treat on October the 25th from 5 to 8. That's going to be in Old Town Jemison. Also, the town of Maplesville is having their 9th annual Treats on Main. That's actually on Friday, October 31st on Halloween from 5 until 6:30. Streets will close from 4:45 to 6:45. There will be a costume winner chosen from the adults handing out treats. And then also Clinton is having their Trick or Treat the Streets the same evening, October 31st, Halloween night, from 5:30 to 7. They're going to have food, games, and surprises. Prize for best costume, and then Trick or Treat. Creepy Cart Parade begins at 7.
Creepy car or cart?
So like your golf cart.
Golf cart.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's going to be neat this year. I love it when Halloween falls on basically Friday nights.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's just great for the kids and families, because you got Friday night and you don't have school Saturday.
Yeah,
But Friday night,
football
it's also
games.
football games.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people will go to a football game dressed up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really neat. And this year, we'll have Halloween on Friday night, and you have Saturday. Sunday mornings when we change time back to standard time. So don't forget, we will go back to Central Standard Time Sunday morning, or when
That'll
you
be
go to
November
bed Saturday
2nd.
night.
Yeah, I guess November 2nd is when that'll be. So, yeah. All right, we're going to take another quick break before we close out our morning. It's 8:45, so stay with us. I got a dilemma.
Uh-oh.
It's a dilemma. It was
You are
not for
on
me.
the horns of a dilemma?
Yeah, well, not me. It's not my dilemma. It's a dilemma that
Or
happened
so they
to someone
say.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even sure it's really a dilemma. It's just a what would you do type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Because I know how I would have handled the situation. But
Oh,
we'll
okay.
talk about it when we come back. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clinton Tractor Studio. We'll be right back.
Go. But excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. Whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss, Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience.
We are back. The time is 8:48. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill here with you this morning on Monday, Columbus Day, Indigenous People Day. Also, fall break for Chilton schools. But here we are. We're just entertaining the masses.
I can't believe that. I can't believe the time is. As you get older, it goes faster, but now it's kind of terrifyingly quick. I mean,
it is.
I went into both Home Depot and Lowe's over the weekend, and they both had plenty of the big Halloween stuff up, but right across, Christmas.
Yep, every store I've been
full-blown
into
Christmas.
has got aisles of Christmas already started.
And I actually saw my first full Christmas commercial watching the Alabama game Saturday.
I guess I missed it.
Yeah, or maybe it was the Ark. It was one of the games, but it was Saturday, and I saw it many times. I think it might have been Home Depot, but it was fully. It had the Christmas jingles that everybody dressed up in Christmas gear, and I think there was a Christmas. It's like dun 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 dun, that kind of stuff. And I thought, no, not this
yet.
early.
It's just too.
It's not even. We're really still a fair amount away from Halloween, and then you got Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I can't get in the Christmas mood until November, at least November.
Yeah.
It has to be like the first.
We got to be getting
week
close
in November.
Close. I like it better when I'm getting close to Thanksgiving. It doesn't have to be as late as Thanksgiving, but like you, it's got to be in November before I start thinking
And I want
Christmas.
it cool outside. I can't shop when it's 80 degrees for Christmas. It just
it's
feels
hard to
weird.
look for a nice thick Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
Or an ugly Christmas sweater when it's 84 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's true. You can't. Good morning, Susan. Thank you for watching and listening. So I had extended family had a situation where, so it's weird because it's a family thing. Everybody in the family is really close. Okay, so you have 2 sisters, 2 brothers. Okay, one of the brothers' daughter was getting married. Okay,
Very nice.
Now the brother, he's older, but he's the baby of the family. So the sisters and the other brother, they're all much older
than him.
So when he had his daughter, they were already grown and stuff. So when he had, his daughter and his son, they were more like aunt and uncles to the cousins were more like aunt and uncles to them than cousins.
Than
they were so
cousins. They were much older.
Well, the daughter got engaged and got married recently. And now you got to think this family is very, very, very close. They spend every holiday together, every Thanksgiving, every
You're talking
Christmas.
about all the brothers and sisters, everybody.
Yeah, well, at least 3 of them. They go to the same church. The families are very, very close. Every church function, they're all together for every church. For every birthday, you're celebrated at one or the other. They do. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Well, the daughter gets engaged and plans her wedding and only invites her dad's sisters and brother and does not invite the rest of the family.
Why?
I don't know.
Nobody asked her?
And I was like, so I saw pictures. I was like, oh, I see where so and so got married. And I said, wait a minute, I don't remember Pal telling me that he went to a wedding. Did Pal not go? And he said, well, it's a funny story about that. He said, we weren't originally invited. Only, you know,
Half the family, part of the
sisters.
family.
And I was like, weren't invited? This is somebody you spent every holiday with since that person was born, and you weren't invited to a wedding? How does that work out? And then all of a sudden, at the last minute, they got the invitation, oh, you can come. If that had happened to you, would you have gone to the wedding? Because I can guarantee you I would not have.
You know, it was it like she'd already formally invited a bunch of people, then at the last minute changed her mind and sent out these last minute ones?
I think so. I think it was one of those things where, if I had to guess, it kind of went like this. I'm still waiting for my invitation in the mail that never came. And then when
start asking about it,
it's like, oh, well, she's only inviting so-and-so. I would be so put out, especially the cousins that are like the aunt and uncles, because they're the ones that this kid has come over and spent time at their house, overnights, had birthday parties and special events at their house. I mean, it was just like, it's not like your distant cousins that you only see once every 3 years. This was like somebody you spent every holiday, every single Sunday,
a lot of weekends,
you were born until the time you start to get married, and you don't invite them to the wedding. How in the world does that happen? But I was like, I wouldn't have gone. I just absolutely would not have gone.
Well, I would have loved not being invited to a relative's wedding. Sometimes I haven't been. And I reveled in it for two reasons. One, I didn't want to get dressed up and go sit through a wedding. Mm-hmm. And two, I don't have to send them a present. I don't have to spend any money on it. If they're not going to invite me to the wedding, then I'm not going to buy them a present, right?
Right.
Unless there was extenuating circumstances, like they were getting married in Rome, you know.
No.
See, if you're getting married in Rome, I'm not going to spend $5,000-$6,000 for me and Mary to fly to Rome to watch their wedding. So I guess it's nice that you could be invited, but then you feel obligated.
Yeah.
So I'm glad when I'm not invited, because then it lets me off two things: going to the service, and I wish them well. No hard feelings at all. It's a relief for me to not have to sit through a wedding. And the same thing is really true of a funeral. I don't like funerals. I don't mind. I mean, I will go to your funeral if you're somebody that I know or care about. I don't mind it, but I don't like it. You know, who likes a funeral?
I typically will go to the funeral home for
visitation, and then not go to the graveside.
But I typically don't go to the graveside unless it's a close family member or a very, very, very close friend.
Yeah, I'll do whatever.
I struggle with it. And I have a hard time, and when they do open casket stuff, it bothers me, because then that's how I have to remember them the last time I saw them, and I don't like that.
Yeah. I just had that nephew that got killed in that fire in Atlanta. He had an open casket. He wasn't burned up or anything. So, he died of lung problems from the smoke, but he looked, for a dead person, he looked fine. But he didn't look like Preston. He didn't look right. They looked plastic and like Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, know.
Well, my friend Byron that just passed away, they had his visitation on Thursday. And after I did Jamie's show, I went by there to the funeral home for the visitation and saw him in the casket. And he actually looked better than he did the last time I saw him, which was,
if people are really sick or having,
he was really, really
sometimes
sick.
The color's better.
He, so that was a blessing that he didn't look terrible.
Horrible.
But I still just don't like it.
Well, we had the funeral director here, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said,
Martin,
I've never heard of this, but I said, everybody knows me because I am like a 1957 Chevrolet. I'm all grill. I'm just teethy. And I can't help it. I got this short upper lip. So my teeth are always showing. And if I grin, I'm like, oh my God, put on sunglasses. So everybody's known me as a real toothy kind of guy,
Yeah.
So if they bury me, if I had an open, of course, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't care. Once I'm dead. But if Mary was to want an open casket thing, I want my teeth showing. I don't want to be like pursed lipped. And everybody I ever see buried or showing their mouths together. I think you have to do something to shut their mouths. You don't want their mouth, but their lips are pursed
Smiling
together.
with your eyes closed.
Yeah, but pursed lips, closed lips, smiling.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look kind of pleasant, like I'm okay. But I want teeth.
Especially those that you just paid a fortune for.
That's right. These are good new.
They look good. They
store-bought
really do.
teeth.
I go Wednesday to get the first little bit of work done on mine, so I'm getting
rebuilt,
getting some rebuilt ones because I
good.
put lumineers over mine, and it's
they've run their course.
They've run their course. Yes.
Well, he told me, he said they can do that. They can actually. But then Mary says, well, you're going to look weird if you look like a chipmunk if you're sitting there with your teeth showing and you're dead. And I said, I kind of like that look. I'd love to have it where when you stepped up to look at me through the casket, you step on a plate like you do when you open the door at the supermarket, and I could talk to you. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming. Good to see you. Everybody step up like something different. Hey, how's it going? You have a good day? Thanks for being here. That kind of. I think that would be hilarious. Especially since I was a radio announcer and everybody, my voice was my thing.
There was a guy who passed away, and I guess he had done his own funeral thingy because his announcement says, come see me one last time. And, I guess he used some kind of funky word for everybody. I'll be waiting for you and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, could you imagine seeing that?
Have you seen this? I think he was Scottish or British or Irish. I don't know. He was somewhere over there. They buried him. They were at the burial. And you know how some people, a lot of people, they do everything at the graveside. So he had a huge crowd there. The vicar did the funeral. They lowered his casket. In some cultures, you take a scoop of dirt and everybody either throws a rose or a scoop of dirt on the top of the casket.
Yeah.
So everyone was near the hole, getting ready to put their rose or their scoop of dirt in the casket, and you hear, "Hey, it's dark in here." And it's the guy's voice. He had pre-arranged it. He says, "Let me out! Let me out! I don't want to do it." And people were shocked, and then they fell out laughing. And I thought that was pretty cool that he thought a time ahead enough that
as they lowered it, I'd probably want somebody to do. Let me do one that says, "Okay, see you later."
Oh yeah, where you're fading down.
As you're going down.
Let's see. I hope I'm going down, but to heaven, not too. Don't tend me too deep. That would be funny. I've always threatened to do something really goofy
I would totally see
for
you
mine,
doing that. Yeah.
but I'd love to do it because I've always said, my life has been so blessed and so wonderful. When I drop dead or die, however I go, it doesn't matter if it's today, tomorrow, or 10 years, whatever. Don't cry, because I've had a phenomenal, blessed life, great friends, great family, good life. I've lived better than 90% of everyone else on the earth. I've had a hot shower every morning I wanted, pretty much, and good life. So don't cry. Just tell the goofy stories about all the stupid and goofy things that I did or experienced, and laugh, because that's what should be done.
Yeah,
I don't want any sadness.
absolutely.
And I think Mary will probably be dancing and throwing a party. I mean,
That's what my husband says that I'll do for him. He said, you'll be checking out, see how much life insurance, the number to the life insurance before
Boy, has Mary
I'm cold.
Mary have a shot coming on that one.
All right, it's 9:02. That's going to do it for us on this Monday. I hope you all enjoy. If you're off, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And,
happy Columbus Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah, and we will see. Well, I will see you tomorrow. Bill will not.
Yes,
I'll
be
bailing
out
on me the rest of the week.
I got to bail out. I got to go to Newark, New Jersey, and then New York State or New York City somewhere. I've forgotten where we're doing it. I do the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial every year in Emmitsburg, Maryland. But this year, the state of New York and the city of New York decided they wanted to do a statewide National Fallen Firefighters Memorial. So they're doing their first one, and they've hired me to come do some of the announcing for it.
That's
So
fantastic.
yeah, it's great. So
Awesome.
that'll be this coming Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then I'll come back Sunday.
All right. Well, have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in today.
Enjoyed
I
it
appreciate
as usual.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching and listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Beach Radio. We'll see you on Tuesday.